Now we're live, so that's at least one sound down.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so it wasn't.
And
I think maybe it caught the intro music. Maybe it was using my my Spose music, or
It might have been.
but it's also dead silent on the actual starting screen. I don't know if that's because the music wasn't there or not, but that's wild. Okay. Huh.
We didn't use like any images or anything, did we?
I mean, that shouldn't silence the audio.
Right.
I would really hope not. I did was the only thing I can think of that might have done that is I showed a single image of the CD cover.
Oh. Wonder.
I mean, what do you think? They just saw the CD cover and just went, "There must be playing the song. Fucking mute that."
It could have been like the algorithm picked it up.
Not showing up. That was all.
No.
But like, is it like the audio is muted during the podcast?
No, it just says there's something that's sorry. We will get into kind words in a moment. I promise, everybody. It just says it was part of it was muted. I will double check it, I guess, on my own time. But hello, everybody.
The best kind of cold open.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm. The cold open where we're panicking about content while making other content.
Yeah.
But hello, hi, welcome back to Kind Words, lo-fi beats to write to.
Yep. We're here again, another week.
I am asking you once again to be kind and produce kind words with us.
Yep. How you doing?
You know, the day outside kind of sucks, but it's really not that bad out there, and overall the day has been pretty good. You know,
what is it, like raining or cold?
It's really like it's like drizzling and it's really dark and overcast and it's really like matte, like big matte energy.
That's fair. It's kind of like that here today too. Although, can I tell you the most Michigan ass thing?
Please do.
That has happened between from yesterday to today. In the average temperature of the day, there's a 40-degree difference. Yesterday, it was 80 degrees. Today, it is 40.
That is insane. That is wild.
Yeah. Which was, like, really bad. So, like, it was really warm last night, as you can imagine. So we went to sleep with the AC on because it was, like, 80 degrees. And we woke up and we had the AC on with it being at 40. And we were just, like, dead. Like, fucking frozen. It was terrible. What's up, Mandy?
Hey, Mandy.
Welcome
back. Welcome back. That is awful, and also at the same time the incredible most Michigan ass thing.
It is the most Michigan thing since I moved here.
I'm so sorry. If it's any consolation, okay. I was like, do I have Neil ready? Okay, yeah, I do. If it's any consolation, it did go from being like a nice brisk like 60, 70 to a nice crisp, I don't know, 52. So not as drastic, but
hell yeah. I'm just we're just taking a moment to collectively marvel at our completed sticker collection.
Yeah, it's really like who knows when this is going to change again, but this is the
first
time.
It's been so long.
Yeah,
it took us so long to get like this fucking fish.
That fish took so long, and I'm so mad because in my actual version of the game, I was holding onto it for the longest time and was just like, come on.
Case in point, like that was set like what 3?
Yeah.
There are 5 sets out, and we got the fish like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's so long.
Anyways, we're gonna go with the old the OG pink rune today.
I agree with that. Nice big spacey vibes.
Let's see what everyone's sad about today. This is a
great starting point.
This is a multi-part.
Never mind. Yeah. Yep, never mind. I mean mood, but also understandable. Why is it that I feel really lonely, but I don't feel like going out and making friends? I feel like I want a girlfriend more than a friend. I want to be loved and cared about. So let's talk about intimacy for a moment, Stev, shall we?
I would love to.
Because there is a difference between like this goes around in like the social media circles for the long like all kinds of different ways, but they never outright explain it well or really talk about what it is. What's missing when you're feeling this isn't like I don't have friends, I don't have a girlfriend. It's you don't feel you have deep connections to people. You don't feel like you don't have that feeling that like your connections are like deep enough that people care about you, or you don't feel like you've made enough of a connection to people. And what's missing isn't that like sensation of love. It's that feeling of knowing that you are really understood and felt.
Yeah, right. That's part of it. It could also be like an anxiety or
Mm-hmm.
depression thing
Mm-hmm.
because and like let me like especially if this is like relatively early on in this person's like journey through these mental health struggles, because like when you are depressed, this is
Yeah.
speaking from personal experience. If you are depressed and you like are feeling lonely and like you want to date someone, oftentimes even when you get to a point where you are dating someone, which is a thing that I did,
Mm-hmm.
you realize that like you still ain't happy.
Yeah.
And it's not about the like dating someone or being feeling loved or cared about, because like most people are loved and cared about
Yeah.
by their friends, their family, or whatever. But like this to me kind of like feels like there might be something else going on here,
Yeah.
like reading into it as much as we
Can.
can given limited information.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree completely. Like this is given how vague it is, like there's any number of things, but yeah, a lot of it is the internal love of self in some ways also, right?
Yeah,
Like understanding yourself, understanding what makes you happy. And
right.
I don't want to say a dependence on other people, but like
Right, because
the yeah.
this to me screams like this person wants to like get into a relationship because they feel like being in a relationship would fix all their problems,
Yes. Yes.
which is not the case.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
like it could help, sure,
Yeah,
but
sure.
like you also don't want to be like putting that
Mm.
onus on like a partner, especially like a new partner. You don't want to just be like you know
Here, solve my problems. I'm
yeah,
sad. Fix that.
yeah.
And like that's because that is I'm gonna call it irresponsible, but like it's not the right way to handle it. That's
I mean,
not.
it is
It is
irresponsible.
irresponsible.
We
Like
might
it's
not we
just
might
not the
not
right way.
realize
Yeah.
like I've irresponsibly gotten
Mm-hmm.
into relationships
Mm-hmm.
before.
Mm-hmm.
Like we admit to
Can't.
our mistakes and
Yeah.
our things that we've
Yeah.
learned from,
Like
right?
I
Like
think that yeah I think it's a mistake that people make, but I don't think it's a mistake people learn about until they've made the mistake a couple times.
right, yeah, absolutely. Once you've gotten to a point where you've like been in and out of like three relationships that didn't work out, either because like you like didn't feel like it was right and ended it, or like you got dumped because you're like the person you were dating like realized what was
Yeah.
going on and was just like, I don't want to fucking deal with this shit,
Yeah.
and like fuck off, which is a perfectly valid
Yeah.
response.
That's a valid
Yeah.
response for them to do so. Yeah.
So
The bigger part of it is how do you like it's going to be introspection. It's going to be figuring out what is where is this stemming from. Are you I was going to make a comparison and it's not a good comparison, but at the same time it also is. It's like it's like walking around and being like, I'm hungry and I want something, but I'm not hungry, I don't want food, I just ate. It's that kind of
mhm.
a feeling where like you can tell something is off, but but like what you think is the answer isn't necessarily it. And in this case, it's just gonna take some introspection to be like, what is really causing me to feel like this? Is it, I've just been like my anxiety or depression is flaring up really badly. It's been a rough time. Am I actually isolated from pretty much anybody? And maybe I haven't had contact with a lot of people or short bursts of contact for days to weeks. Or is there something that is within you that is kind of making you feel this way because you're searching for something, you're searching for a feeling, and you don't know how to find it?
Yeah.
Which is not an easy thing to get. This is not an easy thing that, like, this is not, these kinds of feelings are difficult to get and difficult to really understand and process about yourself. So also don't be like too hard on yourself for this, because this is, understanding yourself is not something we're ever really taught how to do. We're never really explained or trained how to do it, you know, and learning about these things is a process. The only thing that we can suggest is try to keep any other casualties to a minimum, you know?
Mm-hmm.
As a person in the past who has caused casualties, please try to keep them to a minimum.
Right, exactly. Like same. I feel like I've got a read on this question asker because like I've been there.
Yeah.
You know.
Did it? Yeah. Like, admittingly, I've done it. I'm pretty sure several of us have. Like, Steb says it. Like, I'm pretty sure lots of us have gone through this kind of stuff, and it is. I wouldn't call it just a human thing, but it is something that we all, like, I would argue lots of us go through, and it's normal.
Yeah, this person is treading the thin line into being a Fedora Andy. So.
Oh goodness! Thank you for calling it that.
Yeah.
Why Andy though?
I don't know.
I knew an Andy. I liked Andy.
It's like
a fucking,
you know, people calling people like blank Andys or whatever.
Yeah, but,
I forget where I saw it, but I saw something the other day where it was during a preach drama time where he like reads out like stories that people send him about like stuff that happened online. It's a very good series, and they was talking, like, the person was talking about like having these long like heated like arguments via text, and they were like, yeah, and like this guy sent me a big old paragraph Andy about like how he was feeling.
Oh my!
Like, I don't know why, but that just stuck with me. It was funny.
That's fair. That's fair. I respect.
We're gonna give this person the it's the vibe check, Penguin.
It's
right?
a vibe, yeah. Like, this is a big
like
vibe check.
like you gotta check your own vibes.
Yeah.
Not just the vibes of those.
Yeah. Man, okay. I'm still waiting for Kind Medical Advice to be, the DLC to be released, but you know, I guess until then.
Kind WebMD.
Kind of WebMD. Recently, I haven't been acting like myself. I don't know how to describe it. I come off as irritated, but I'm not irritated. I just feel numb. And I feel really bad because I've been acting this way around my mom a lot, and she's worried. What's going on? Any advice?
Sounds like anxiety.
Yes, that sounds like some anxiety is going on.
Sounds like depression. Sounds like a lot of things.
Sounds like a mental. It sounds like your mental isn't in balance, to use absolutely scientific terms.
Did you know that one of the lesser known COVID symptoms is getting irrationally mad at inanimate objects?
Excuse me?
This is the thing. I didn't know about it until Pete told me about it, because Pete had COVID recently, a friend of the channel, and he was saying like he looked it up and like asked his doctor, and like, yeah, apparently people who have had COVID have reported like feelings of just like getting irrationally frustrated with like inanimate objects, which like he said like that was like the thing, because like most of what he does for work, because he's a software engineer, is remote. Yeah. But like he couldn't work while he had COVID because he would just like after a while just get mad at his laptop and just need to like turn it off.
What's my excuse? Because I get mad at shit, mad at inanimate things well before I had COVID.
I mean, I think you just have a boomer mentality.
That's incredibly possible. That
like
is incredibly possible. But
you were born before 1990, so
it's true.
You've got one foot in the boomer grave, like.
Already a fossil.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've established that we're basically the same person,
Yeah.
but like, I'm the like you happened, and then a year later, like they figured out, they ironed out, they patched some of the bugs, and here I am.
Incredible. Thanks for calling me inferior. Love you, bud.
I'm.
Thanks for calling me a beta. I know, I'm messing. Yeah, this is like this is a mental check-in moment. Like, we can't tell you what's going on with you just
Right.
from like those symptoms. Like, even if you list a bunch of symptoms,
Yeah.
we're just gonna WebMD this and be like, you're dying. Like, that's just literally
Yeah,
like
that's probably
it's probably
lupus.
death. Yeah, it's lupus. Like, we can't tell you from that. But what you can do is check in with yourself to think. Today's apparently going to be introspection day, so think about what is going on. Is there something happening around you? Did you incur a bunch of stress recently? Was there like, did you move? Did you like start a new thing? Did you lose a job, start a job? Good and bad stress. Did you like come back from a cool vacation that is now like affecting you because you'd rather be on vacation and not working like the rest of us? Like, it's gonna come down to figuring out what is going on within you, to really understand where it's coming from. Once you understand where it's coming from, then you say like, oh, I can't figure out where it's coming from. Maybe I am fighting off anxiety. Maybe I'm feeling super depressed. Write down all your symptoms. Take a stock of it. I kind of joked about using WebMD, but like, it doesn't hurt to like check if you're not sure. Like,
It can certainly hurt. If
uh,
this person is
yeah,
anxious,
yeah.
if this person is feeling
That's touche,
anxious or
yeah.
depressed,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, touche. Touche there. Because I was gonna say, like, it wouldn't hurt to check against like a list, but yeah, it absolutely does. In that regard, yeah. But taking stock in all your symptoms and knowing what you're feeling will at least maybe help you to kind of understand how are you feeling, how you are feeling, and then to think about why you may be feeling those ways. And definitely don't look up things on WebMD. Just don't. We laughed about it, but like, please don't. It's literally probably not going to tell you anything helpful. Rarely does it ever.
yeah. I mean, like, it's better to like go check something out and have it be nothing.
Yeah,
than,
go see an actual doctor.
you know.
Yeah. Is this incredibly freaked out fish?
Yeah, it is.
Panic,
This is
panic fish.
the panic fish.
Yeah. Panic at the fish go.
I chimed in with a haven't you people ever heard of blah 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 blah.
The thing is, I knew where you were going with that, and it still got me. That's the problem. I knew you were.
That's because it's just a powerful bit.
That bit was strong. I can't do anything about that. Oh goodness.
That was a powerful 1T bit. This is why we do this is how you know we've been doing this for too long together.
Yeah. 1000%. Oh goodness. I have thoughts. This is fine. Lately, I feel I'm living my life in autopilot, doing the same things over and over again, and not feeling happiness for some time now. I would like to be left alone to think, but I'm overwhelmed with people around me all the time. Would you like the first part or the second part first? What do you think?
I mean, let's go in order.
All right. I feel like I'm living my life on autopilot, doing the same things over and over again, and not feeling happiness for some time now. You don't have to just autopilot, is my take here.
I have an interesting, like, mildly related to this feeling.
Sure.
Take that I heard the other day.
Send it.
So there's a streamer that I follow. Like, not like watch a lot, but I catch his clips every once in a while. Named Josh Drive Hayes. He's like big in the MMO spheres, and like is just like a very like handsome, articulate British man,
Ah, okay.
uh, who's just like fun to watch because he's goofy and
Yeah.
and he got a question on stream the other day about like how to like make his how do you like build up or start healthy habits, like that sort of thing,
Mhm.
like how do you like get into eating better, like that kind of stuff. Thank you, Black.
You play.
um and the answer that he gave, I've kind of been thinking about for a
Mhm.
while. And he was saying how the way that he like tricks his brain into like eating or being healthy is he sets himself up in such a way that the healthy choice is the easiest choice. So he makes like overnight oats, which is like, kind of like a boring, bland breakfast, but it's really good for you. And he prepares it at night when he is like motivated to do stuff. So that in the morning when he's feeling lazy and groggy and doesn't want to think about stuff,
Yeah.
he like that's just the easiest thing to grab. And then the second part of that is like being okay with repetition
Yes.
and being okay with like doing the same things over and over. And the thing that he said that I've been thinking a lot about is like learning to be okay with with being bored.
Yeah.
And like that's like a huge like I don't know, cuz like that's like such a big part of like where my kind of like anxiety comes from, is this like feeling of like I need to constantly be having noise going on in my brain, because if I don't and I get bored, then I have to like deal with my own thoughts, and I don't want to have to deal with
Mhm.
that. And I don't know, that's been living rent free in my head ever since I first heard that. And
Yeah.
so like case in point, like living your life on autopilot, while like it's like framed as a negative in this question,
Not
isn't
always.
necessarily like a
Some
bad
of
thing.
the best parts of my life that I think about were like the finest, and not even like best times, but were like the okayest times. Were times where I looked and went, nothing happened. I was
Right.
just going through things. Like I went to work, I came home, I maybe did a couple things. Perfect.
Hmm.
Mwah. Chef's kiss of part of section of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we were burnt out driving around 100 miles a day on our cars going to music therapy sessions, but we didn't have to think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We complained about it and it sucked in the moment, but in the whole, like we got to drive, we did our thing, nothing really really terrible happened, and that was kind of it. So yeah, like living life on autopilot doesn't have to be a bad thing. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think if that is a thing you don't like or like are concerned about, you have the power to change that too. Like that's
sure.
kind of the other thing is
Yeah.
it may take like how you change that is going to be up to you. Maybe it's as
Mhm.
simple as change an eating habit, change something different. But like it kind of falls into like if you want to be that, if you want something different, make the change. Try something different, go somewhere different for food.
Which
Some of the best decisions have simply like for food wise have just been like I don't want to go to X place. I go to X place all the time. I want something different.
mhm,
I'm gonna try this place, and then I found out I love this place even more. Like that was a
sure.
great, and that became the new autopilot.
Yeah. But also like there's the like, you and I are gonna do our sessions on Thursday morning, and then we're just gonna go to Moe's for lunch because it's down
Yeah.
the street and it's Stack Thursdays, and we didn't have to think about
Yep.
it. This is just
Yep.
like what we're doing.
Yep. It is
Um,
there's something to be had for Mr. Zuckerberg, Overlord Zuckerberg, and his I just have all the same clothes so I don't have to think about it mentality.
yeah, it's the video game NPC,
Uh,
right? Like the I'm just gonna like I've got like exactly
mm-hmm.
7 of the same shirt, and I'm gonna wear one every day, and then on the like
One,
once I'm down to my last one, I'm gonna wash them, and like like
I don't need to think about.
every
I don't
week
need to
it's
worry about
gonna
that. I don't have to do anything. Yep. I agree.
happen.
But as for part two,
Yeah,
because this is the thing that I think is kind of. I mean, you can go ahead if you got something.
I
Go
do,
ahead.
and I think, well, so like that, what I was just talking about, how like it's like not a bad thing to like live your life on repeat and like come into these like habits and stuff. What that can lead to, I think, is the back half of this question, which it sounds like this person is feeling burnout.
Yeah, I could see that too.
You know, like if you are kind of like going through the motions and doing the same thing day in and day out, and like you're okay with that, and you're kind of like making your way through, and you're not necessarily especially happy, but you're not necessarily especially unhappy.
Mhm.
But like what could be happening, especially if like all of your feelings are just kind of muted because you've fallen into that routine, is that like you're feeling burnt out and you don't
Yeah.
necessarily realize that you're feeling burnt out. And so like
It is, yeah. I would say I would be agreed to that. The only thing I was going to add on was that if it's something that you want is to be left alone to, like, if you feel like you're overwhelmed or so many people around you, like, you are allowed to take that space. You're allowed to be like, guys, I'm going to go, like, fuck off for a day and just, like, go somewhere to be alone. I'm going to go on a hike. I'm going to go, like, fuck off to a remote corner. I'm going to sit in my car and just cry. Like, you're allowed to do that to get yourself, like, space and time away from everybody around you, if that's, like, overwhelming.
Absolutely.
How do you condense that into all that into 14 lines? Evaluate.
That's what I'm here for, baby.
Like, evaluate the burnout of yourself, like, because autopilot doesn't have to be a bad thing, like we said, you know.
So like unironically though, like the fact that I'm like good, I was like when I was doing the therapy stuff full time, like being a good clinical writer has made it very easy to condense information into kind words answers.
Yeah, I will give you that. That is fair, especially considering college was the entire opposite, where it's take this thing that could be said in a page and make it 10.
Yeah, it's take this thing that can be said in a page and like make it 10 pages, but I've always been good at like taking this page worth of information and putting it in a paragraph.
Yeah, just crunching it way down.
Yeah.
I respect that. But yeah, like that is going to be a lot of it. Is just like, is like autopilot's okay? Is it the best thing? No. Is it the worst thing? It can be if you are like fed up with it. Oh god, no. Sorry, I had to turn on my Overwatch 2 streams because gotta put 4 hours in.
Is that what do you just get in after 4 hours?
I thought it started tomorrow. Yeah, you just have to watch 4 hours of content if you didn't get an email, and I did not get an email. Unsurprised, surprise Pikachu, but I digress.
I'll throw an Overwatch stream on for 4 hours and just have access to it. That's fine.
But yeah, it's like this is kind of one of those things of finding contentment in what is like happening in your life, like the repetition. I like, people give me shit about this. I love fucking schedules as fuck, like schedules that I don't have to think about and I just know, like, cool, this is what's happening next, this is what I gotta do next. That shit is great.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm always like, I'm bad at that kind of schedule-y thing, which is why you always have to message me about the stream schedule.
My problem.
And why it's like, that's why like I sit down and I schedule all the YouTube videos like at one time, because I'm really bad at like remembering to release them. So like now it's like once you've got them clipped and exported, like I sit down for like a half hour, 45 minutes, and I bang all of it out and I schedule them all to go up.
Yep.
Tomorrow, next day, and we're good.
Yeah. I similarly, like, I feel that, Mandy, incredibly. Similarly, like, I love having a schedule. I love staring at it and knowing, like, cool, this is exactly what's going to be happening. And then I start stream constantly 10 minutes late. Yeah. And that's just, like, I'm fine with that because I'm like, it's close enough to on time. Fine by me.
Conversely, this is why we're a good team.
Yeah.
I don't schedule things, but I am always early to things. So, like, Sam doesn't show up until like 8:10. I'm here at 7:50.
Yeah,
waiting.
He's here just hanging out and waiting for me, and I'm like, oh, sorry, man. I woke up late. It's all good.
Yep.
Yeah. It is, but like, yeah, it is. Like, schedules don't have to be like I can understand completely how schedules can feel restrictive, can be like, and they're not for everybody. Like real talk. It's not for everybody. It's always preferences too. Some people just can't. Some people just feel like schedules chain them down or do whatever. And if so, like, good luck finding what works for you. I hope you do. But like that kind of stuff to me feels like something that doesn't have to be a cage. It can be a tool for success. It just depends on kind of how you look at it and how you use it. And then the rest of it, like Steve said, is like, is your day-to-day repetition that you're autopiloting, is it too much? Like, are you just doing too much? Like, maybe you're craving something, like maybe you're craving happiness, maybe you're craving like a change because you're just so overwhelmed with all the stuff that is like put on your plate already. And that sucks. That feeling sucks. We've been there. Like, it is so easy to get burned out and not even realize you're burned out just because you're just like, I gotta go to the schedule. I gotta keep on plans. I gotta keep going on with everything. Like, I can't stop.
That I always love how whenever like you do you're setting up an afternoon stream and you throw to our community, it's like, oh, like what do you guys want to see? And everyone always
Yeah, everyone tells me to like go fucking take a day off, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, go take a day off. Go touch some grass. Go throw some frisbees at trees or whatever it is you like to do.
Yep. No, it's no, and I was only surprised the first like couple times because I was like, okay, but like, really? Like, okay, sure. And then the second time I was like, you know what? I'm not even mad about this anymore. If like this is what they want, like, how am I gonna be mad?
Like,
how am I gonna be mad? People are like concerned about me
Yeah.
and like want me to go enjoy life also. Like,
Yeah. It's the keep on trucking truck.
yeah,
It's okay to just keep on trucking.
it is good to keep on trucking sometimes.
Okay, not a thing.
Yeah, not a thing I can do. Not a thing, and also no. Nope.
This is a fucking.
Is it a time for a deep read?
This sounds like a Reddit copy pasta.
It kind of does, yeah. I guess we could do this one.
We could do this one.
Yeah. I need to stay up a bit later today, though I just want to go to sleep so that I won't have to deal with my thoughts. But this is really important. I need to stay up just in case. As I said, it's important, so I need advice from you. My mind's a mess and I just want to sleep it away. Fucking buy a million monsters, put them together, and just drink them.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
You'll die.
Yeah, you'll actually die. Don't do that. Don't do that.
We need
Genuinely
a
don't
we
do
need
that.
we need a sound clip that we can play that's just like a disclaimer.
Yeah, warning, please don't listen to Sam's advice. He oftentimes suggests bad things. Maybe I'll write one of those. Maybe I'll work one of those up. Yeah, no, don't do that. That said, like, if you need to stay up, like, I don't think it's like, don't be afraid to like have a cup of coffee or like have a soda, something that like works to keep you up. I don't think that's like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, like, the other thing is like, if you gotta sleep, you gotta sleep, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I say that one a lot too.
if you gotta sleep, you gotta sleep. Like, sure, like this thing could be important, but like this is the thing about kind words, right? It's like we don't have the context. It could be that they're like needing to stay up because like they have a family member in the hospital that they need to like keep. It could be that like they're like waiting from a text from this like from a like girl or something.
Yeah, they could be waiting for anything.
Yeah,
it could literally be anything.
It's 6 in one, half dozen in the other, but like sleeping.
If your body needs sleep, it is going to make you sleep. It will win,
right,
regardless of what your mind wants. Yeah,
right. Like, I've been like having trouble sleeping lately. I've been getting like only 5 hours of sleep every night. But like,
yeah,
like you like when your body needs to sleep, you need to sleep, and sometimes that means that I'm just gonna like randomly go to sleep for an hour, at 4 in the afternoon or something.
My afternoon naps are my greatest thing to happen to Monday afternoon, and then I started casting in the afternoon, and I miss them. But I digress.
Right.
But I digress. Yeah. Like, if you're like concerned about it, like just set an alarm. Like, kind of set an alarm for the time. If you think like, if you might fall asleep, and you know you have to be up or you can't allow yourself to sleep for some reason, like
Yes,
set an alarm.
set yourself like a 90-minute
Yeah.
alarm or like a 2-hour alarm.
Yep.
And like that gives you like like if you do like 2 hours, like can like factoring in the time that it'll take you to like fall
Yeah.
asleep. That's like a cycle of REM sleep. It's
Yeah.
something, but
Yeah, like that. I was gonna say, like, typically there's some, don't quote me on the science because I don't know it, but I do know that, like, Steve is right. Like, there's the REM cycle is 2 hours, and then there's some amount of time before that where it's like,
the REM cycle is 90 minutes.
is it 90 minutes? I thought it was 2 hours. Okay,
I'm fairly certain it's 90 minutes.
I trust you on this.
Like it's like an hour. It's like an hour and a half. So like
Alright.
2 hours factors in like
It's falling
you know.
asleep, getting comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the minimum amount on like a short nap, I'm talking like a cat nap equivalency, is like they say don't go above 20 minutes. Because once you hit 20 minutes is when you start to move like the next cycle of REM, and that's when, like, if you wake up, you're gonna start to feel groggy and like really really crappy because your body was starting to relax and give it all up. So like, but yeah, like if you need to, like, just find the tools you need to accommodate the situation. It may just be as simple as like set an alarm to wake up so you don't miss a call. It could be have someone check in on you, or it could be, well, I guess this is, time for a big old can of nondescript, because they're not paying us, cola beverage. And no one gets no free advertisement. I say as I pick up my cup for Connecticut Music.
Noted company that we both work for, Connecticut Music Therapy Services. They're great. Also, like, our title is about Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Oh god, that's right. That's right, because we were talking about how Baja Blast is in a bottle. That's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Oh no. Curses. I've played myself. But yeah. As for the other part of just like, you don't have to deal with your thoughts, whatever you're dealing with, like, your body will win out. If it's tired, it's tired. You don't have to worry about your thoughts. Your body will be like, no, fam, we're sleeping.
Yeah.
But that being said, like, you can't run or sleep from your thoughts. I've tried. You cannot sleep away your problems. People just tend to get mad when you do that, so don't try.
This is the learn to do a foreign language in your sleep tape.
Yeah, that's the calming music to help you get to sleep.
That's the lo-fi beats
we found the lo-fi beats.
That's the lo-fi beats mixtape to sleep off your inner demons to.
Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. This is interesting.
Yeah, this is kind of all over the place.
Also, I'm jealous of your nap to Plaid. I will say, that's a good nap.
That's a good nap.
That's a good nap.
That's good nappy times.
That's good naps. I just want peace and quiet, but often it seems that the world is against it. No matter how hard I try, to do well in a job, studies, or life itself, but it never works out. Even people around me are starting to tell me, stop believing that you are the center of the world. I kind of think I see how we get there.
I think I do too.
Yeah. Go ahead. It feels as though our writer is like telling people, like, look, I just want peace and quiet. I just want to get away from it. Like, I'm feeling overstimulated. I'm feeling like everything's too much. And people are looking and being like, wow, you're being selfish. The world doesn't revolve around you. That's how I'm kind of feeling we're getting A to B.
Which is a shitty thing to say to someone.
Yeah. Who's literally doing that. Yeah. Yeah, that is the shitty answer. That is a bad answer, and anybody who tells you that answer should get kicked in the shin. Please don't kick people in the shin.
Please do not listen to the things that Sam says. He says it for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, I will. I'll record that up and speed it up. Don't worry.
I'll write it up and send you a little voice memo you can speed up.
Perfect. Yeah, it's incredibly like, eh, I, this is that line though, right? Of like taking care of yourself and actually being selfish, because a lot of people will sit there and confuse the two. It's the difference of I want or I'm doing X thing because this is what I need to feel okay, comfortable, happy, and be like okay in myself, or I'm doing this thing because it's just what I want and I don't care if it hurts people. That's the difference. Like the intent behind it is a lot of it. And I think that's the other part of this is just like how you phrase it to them too. Not that it really matters, not that you owe anybody an explanation, but really saying, uh, but it really does say that like how you express what you're trying to do, uh, is like is important, right? Like it's how you say it and how you're trying to get what you're trying to do is important.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, it can be difficult, especially if you have like people who are being unsupportive
mhm.
around you, to feel like you have like the space and the capability
Yeah.
to like do
Step
the
back.
thing,
Yeah.
to
Do the
do
thing.
these things, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's uh gonna go extreme for a moment here, but like if you want to go do a bunch of cocaine, like I said I'm going extreme here. Stay with me.
Brand Productions and
This is
its
not, do not
associated products
do
do
not
not endorse
endorse doing cocaine. No.
for our for entertainment purposes only.
If you go out and like do something, I'm fine. We'll make it even nicer. Also, like disclaimer: don't go eat an entire tub of ice cream. If you want to go eat an entire tub of ice cream in like one sitting, don't share it. Whatever. Like you're not hurting anybody. There's nothing wrong with it. If that's what makes you happy and makes you feel like you are getting enjoyment out of it, fantastic. Like it is not selfish to be like, guys, I'm gonna go home and eat an entire cup of ice cream. Um, like don't worry about it. It's just me. I'm hungry. I really want this ice cream. It's once you start going, guys, I'm going to eat a tub of ice cream and I'm not going to share it. And I'm going to take pictures of all the sweet toppings I put onto it just to show you guys how much I'm enjoying this. Like, that's when you're being selfish. So, yeah. Thank you, Devlad. But it's about the intent. So, like, make sure you're doing stuff for you that you want to be doing that is also helping you, but also make sure you're not doing stuff that like is hurtful to others, because it's very possible that people are just looking at it and being like, I don't like that you're trying to do this. You can't just fuck off into the woods and wander around for several hours without your phone on. That's not okay. You're not hurting anybody. It's what you want to do to find some peace and solace. Uh, and, if it's actively hurting somebody, putting in someone in danger, putting in someone in harm, don't do it. Don't go do don't put all the monster energies together and drink it. Don't do massive cocaine. Don't do any of that, because it's probably going to hurt somebody. But finding the thing that brings you joy, or what you need to do, if you just want to go find peace and quiet, tell everybody, hey, I'm going to go like find my peace and quiet. I'll let you know when I'm good. I'll be back. My phone's on. You can contact me. I'll respond to it whenever. Just don't make it hurt or be negative to other people, then you're fine. Likely people could just be overreacting to you or being mad that you're trying to take care of yourself. There's a lot of people that are really salty about people doing the hashtag self-care. It's fascinating how many people are salty about you trying to take care of yourself. I at least know I've found a couple people who get very annoyed and angry that it's like, what do you mean you're gonna go fuck off and not be around people for a while? Yeah, man, I just need to self-isolate. It's cool. It's my coping mechanism. Let me do it. Please cope in healthy ways. There's the last disclaimer.
Right. This is a what's the copium sticker?
The copium sticker?
What's like the self-care sticker? Is it the self-care cow?
The roly cow. Isn't it just Eddie the Yeti protecting you from people who are being mean?
It absolutely is. Oh, get out of here, Einstein. Einstein says the big brain play is taking care of
Yeah,
yourself.
the Einstein plays of taking care of yourself. Love it.
This seems like a good last one.
Yeah, this kind of is a good closeout. Anyone here who knows about difficult relationships? I've been with my boyfriend for a few months. We love each other, but we are fighting a lot. We catch us again. I assume it's like they make up, and find a way together. But it's so hard emotionally. How do I know this is too hard for us? Can I edit that bottom line for us first?
Sure.
How do I know this is too hard for me?
Right.
Let's start on that. Because you, despite being a part of a couple, you are still the most important person to you. And you should be the most important person to you.
Yep.
The relationship may not work out. Lots of relationships don't work out. But you always have to live with you.
Most of them, statistically.
Statistically, many do not. But you need to worry about what is best for you. And it's hard to think about that because that is, again, like, feel selfish is actually just kind of self-care in a lot of ways. But how do you know?
It feels selfish because we live in a society.
Yeah, basically that.
And we're conditioned to not think about ourself and our own place in a relationship, but to think about like the relationship as its own entity and like a thing that needs to be solved.
Yes. How do we get the perfect relationship? Can we be the perfect couple, parents, whatever you might be at the time?
And the answer is like probably not.
The answer is there's no such thing as perfect.
Yeah.
The answer is you are perfect as long as everybody's happy and no one's suffering or in pain from it.
Yeah.
Unless that's your kink, I guess.
But like, you know, if it's your kink, you're practicing.
You're practicing it. Yeah, you're practicing it in a safe way.
Yeah. Like, we're not here to kink shit.
Yeah, we're not kink shit.
But like it's hard. It's especially hard to manage and interrogate your own feelings in a realistic manner when you are like deep in the throes of a shitty relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm sure all been there where like we've been in a relationship for you know, like a year or 6 months or whatever, and like you really want it to work and like it's just not, and it's like very clear to everyone around you that it's not, but you're like just really like trying to make it work despite that, and it's like not healthy for you or your partner. Not that I'm saying that's what this is, because we don't know what this is.
But you're so enamored by like the highs that you don't see those highs surrounded by all the lows in the middles. Yeah.
Like we fight all the time, but we really like smashing our bits together. And it's just like that's
great
fine,
and all, but
like,
that's cool. You can reevaluate your relationship around that concept though, if that's the case. Like the question is at what point are you finding it not worth, or like at what point do you stop feeling the emotions you're feeling, but then also is it becoming more painful than it is enjoyable, basically? Like
right. And I think the important thing is to be able to, like, we talk all the time about having like open
communications
and honest communications with your partner. And when you're in a situation like this Asker is, the hardest thing in the universe, the hardest thing that you could possibly do is like breach the topic of like, should we like break up?
Maybe we aren't good together. Is the hardest thing to go to.
Yeah, like this isn't working, and to like be able to present that in and bring that in as a conversation, without like feelings and anger and desperation and all of that getting in the way, but being able to like calmly like think about it and evaluate, like, you know, this might not work out. Maybe we're better as friends. Maybe we're just better as like friends who occasionally mash our bits together.
Yeah.
Maybe we like don't have a place in each other's lives. Maybe we need to take a break for a while. Maybe we
Yeah.
need to, not talk for like a
Yeah.
few weeks or a year or whatever, and like we could try it again, or
Mhm.
like maybe not, because at that point we've grown as people, and who knows if we will want to come back to it with that perspective. And it's a scary thing.
It is.
It's
It is.
hard.
It is.
But it's an important thing to bring up, especially because like even if that is brought up and the answer is that like you don't want to leave each other, your relationship will then be stronger for the fact that you can like bring up and talk about that stuff.
1000% agree. It is incredibly difficult to sit there and say maybe this isn't right, and maybe you have to acknowledge, like, it's even harder to say maybe one of us got the wrong idea of who we thought we were getting involved with. Maybe I misunderstood the person. Maybe I thought they were this way. Maybe I understood them to be super rebel badass musician or something like that.
Or maybe you understand the person that you're with, but like it's like not exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't realize what you wanted until you were already
Yeah.
in a relationship. Like
That happens.
again, we're speaking from experience here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. There's
it's
also
the thing.
Yeah, it's hard. We're always trying to figure out what
And it's
is best.
and
for
it's
us.
hard. And it's hard because like specifically because like, and I think like this is relatable take incoming.
Okay.
It's hard to hurt the people you care about.
Holy
And we don't want to hurt the people that we care about.
Steve,
Generally,
I'm scalding from that absolutely ice cold take.
I know, spicy takes only.
I am
here, but
am legitimately I am on fire from the ice cubes of that take.
but it's like it's true. Like,
Yeah, it is.
You don't want to have that conversation,
Mhm.
but I think it's an important conversation to have.
Mhm. Acknowledging that, and that's a tough thing to do in itself, like on a different level, is acknowledging you've made mistakes or you misunderstood or you've like made an error, or that something wasn't exactly what you thought it was, is hard to admit to someone that you do care about. There are people that you will care about that matter to you, and this isn't necessarily just like dating or sexual relationships, like family relationships too. It's so hard sometimes to just acknowledge, like, my relationship with X family member isn't really a great place because anytime I'm around them, they make me want to like throw myself against a wall, or they make me feel really uncomfortable, and it can be tough to talk about that or acknowledge that because you just care about them, because you love them in a various way. It is a hard thing. So how do you know if it's too hard for you? You have to evaluate, what is it that you want, what is it that works for you, and what is it that you think, where is your boundary? Where is your boundary for, I don't think this is what I want, this is worth my time, energy, emotional investment, and then figuring out what is really going on. Sometimes the hardest thing is also to acknowledge that your partner is not realizing that they are not in a good spot, that they are suffering and don't really realize it or are ignoring it. And that's not to say go be a martyr, but that's to say, like, hey, it seems like in a relationship you seem to be really unhappy, really, there seems to be like I seem to be, this relationship seems to be making you really unhappy, really upset, really XYZ. And to acknowledge that, especially if you are the baddie, that can be a hard thing, but the most helpful thing you can do is to bring it up and talk about it and keep it honest and open with each other, because that's how relationships thrive, is that honesty, the communication, and the willingness to either work on it or acknowledge that it needs to change.
Right. So, male deer of communication, I want to again pat myself on the back for using the exact character limit.
This man over here, man, the absolute, you know what? I can't even make jokes about it because I'm proud of you for that. Because, I was going to joke about you being an absolute, like, look at this man going so hard on his own self-esteem, but he deserves it. He does, chat. He deserves it.
It's the small affirmations.
It's the small things in life. And that's also what a good relationship does, is you support each other and affirm each other's positivities.
Yep.
Thank you all for
The-
coming and hanging out with us today. We appreciate it as always.
Much appreciated. This will be live on YouTube on Friday.
Yes.
Exactly Friday. Sam.
Yes.
I'm hesitant to say it because if I say it, that means that we commit to it. But
Yep.
I think that we've ironed out
Yeah.
a schedule
I
for
think
the
we are.
YouTube.
I think we are almost there. Yeah, I think we've got it.
So
And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching it. It is now Friday. Welcome,
yeah,
happy
we
Friday.
Happy Friday. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, we need to ask a leading question for people to answer in the comments.
I think
That's a thing that YouTubers do.
Yeah, okay.
We could do that.
Tell us in the comments below your thoughts on Baja Blast now available. No, not that. no. Tell us in the comments below.
What is your favorite Panic at the Fish Go song?
Yeah.
And why?
What is your favorite Panic at the Fish Go song? And why is it off the noted best album? I can't even think of that album. Fuck.
A Seaver You Can't Sweat Out.
A Seaver You Can't Swim Out. Yes. Everybody have a great day. Take care, friends. We'll see you around.
Bye.